Hey my friend, today I'm going to show you a counterintuitive way to make better chord progressions, and it's by playing incomplete chords on purpose. I'm going to show you why that works and how you can do it in this lesson. So let's start with a simple chord progression in the key of E minor. So we have the root chord, E minor, then we have C, which is the 6th chord in that key. Then we have E minor again, and A minor, which is the 4 chord. And if I'm going too fast right now and you're wondering, what is a root chord? What is a 4 chord? Why are we using Roman numerals? This is exactly why I offer a free mini course to all my new viewers. You can get it for free, first link in the description box. In the second module of that free course, we talk about harmonization and why we are using Roman numerals, and I demystify all of that. So if you need a refresher or to learn that, it's my pleasure. You can get it first link in the description box. So back to the lesson. What I don't like about this chord progression here is that the chords are all complete. If I want to improvise a lead or a melody on top of that, I have to follow the chords. I cannot use little color notes that are outside the key just to add a little spice, because that's going to clash with the complete chords right here. So let's say that I'm going to improvise in my E minor pentatonic scale. On top of the chords, I can just stay in that scale to follow the chords properly. So what if I want to make my improvisation or my melody better by using little outside notes? It's not gonna work. It's gonna sound like this. And I know that these notes can sound great, they just don't sound great on top of these chords like these. So the way we can do it and make these little color notes fit on top of that is by making our chords neutral, by purposefully removing some information on the chords so that these color notes are going to fit. So how can we do that? Is by removing the most important note of these chords, which is the third of the chords. The third is telling us if the chord is major or minor. So for example, with my E minor chord, the chord is minor just because of that note here. The open third is the third of the chord. If I remove it, if I put my, let's say my ring finger on top of the third string without pressing on it just to mute it, then that's going to create a neutral chord. You can play all of it. It creates a kind of a big power chord. We have the notes E, B, E, B, E, right? And now the chord is neutral. I could decide with my lead on top, do I play a major third? Do I play a minor third? Do I play, I don't know, a major 7th? Or a minor 7th? It can all work because now the chord is neutral on top, right? So the neutral chords that are going to work the best are the power chords, because you just have the root and the 5th, or sometimes you could use sus2. It works a lot because you remove the third and you replace it with a second, and that's pretty neutral. You could use a sus4, but I find that it's more colorful and it has a tension that really wants to resolve in it. So my favorites are power chords and sus2 chords. So let's go back to our chord progressions of E minor, C, E minor, A minor, and make it neutral entirely. You don't have to make all the chords neutral in a chord progression, but I wanted to do it just to show you the possibilities with that. So the first one, we said it, we just put the ring finger to mute the third string, and we have the neutral chord. On the C chord, we gotta get rid of the third of the chord, and it's at two places. It's on the 4th string, and it's the open first too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lift my middle finger. That's gonna create a sus2. And I'm also gonna add my pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string to get rid of the 2nd E, which is a note that we don't want. So if I play it like this, it makes a C sus2. Or alternatively, I could just put, like I was doing it with the E minor, yes? I'm just putting my middle finger on top of the 4th to mute it if I want. Both can work. Right? And the last one that we have to modify is the A minor. And this one is easy. I can just lift my index, and that's going to create an A sus2. So now my new chord progression is like this, an E power chord, followed by a C sus2, the E power chord again, and then the A sus2. So alone like this, it sounds more empty, right? But that's on purpose. Because now the little color notes that I wanted to add that are outside of my E minor scale, they're gonna fit on top of that, right? If I play that little note here, that's gonna be the major third on top of the E, right? If I play this one, that's gonna be the minor third on top of the E minor. So because of that, we can choose whether we play the major or the minor third on all of the chords, and that can create many kinds of different moods. So let's try one mood where I target more the major thirds of all of the chords. So here, this is the major third of my E. This note, the major third of the C. And then on the A, I play a kind of a sus4. So you see, I targeted all of the majors. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So I decided on the color of the chords. Let's do something totally different with the same exact backing track. Now I'm going to target the minor third of all of the chords, and you will see how that changes the mood right here. So you see, in that case, I targeted the minor third of all of the chords, right? Da, 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 da. So you see, it should not normally fit in the same key to play E minor followed by C minor. But it depends what you're looking for. What colors do you want to choose for your song? Do you want something eerie like this? Da, 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 da. Or do you want something happier, more uplifting like that? Da, 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 da. It's all up to you when you play more neutral chords, when you leave information out of the chord for it. And like I said, you don't have to do it for all chords in the progression. That was just to show you the possibilities. But most of the times it works best when you do it with just one chord. So for example, in one of my ambient sketches from 1 year ago, I'm playing exactly the same chord progression but in another key. It's F minor, then C sharp major, F minor again, and then I'm playing that B flat but as a power chord, which is neutral, and then with my melody I do the ta-da to add that little color. So you see the potential here. So play power chords, sus2 chords, neutral chords instead of some of your chords, and that gives you more choices to reharmonize with your melodies or your leads. And once again, if you want to take my free mini course to learn more about chords and Roman numerals and harmonization, it's all free. You have some chord charts that you can download in there. It's my pleasure, so you can click on the first link in the description box. And if you want to listen to a next video, I have another one where I show you my favorite Foo Fighter chords, and there are many chord shapes in this lesson which are neutral because Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters does that a lot to leave the third out of the chords. So if you want to learn more shapes for that, this is the next lesson for you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, au revoir.